This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. I've got Carolee Mason back with me from the Studio Theatre Perth. Thanks for joining us again.
Happy to be here.
You guys seem to be here so much. You put out so many productions every year, but when was the last one you were here for?
I was here a little bit earlier than this last year for the 39 Steps.
39 Steps.
So that was the one, and then I had done Scrooge earlier, the Christmas before. So I've slowed down a little bit this year.
But you're the director in the next one coming up.
The next one coming up is The Perils of Persephone, and I am directing that one. So that's why I'm here today.
And have you done directing before?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I'm closing in on, well, more than 150 productions in my lifetime.
Wow.
I direct. That's what I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, because I know you've been here before, and we were talking a little bit about the history of Studio Theatre Perth too. Let's talk about that. You've been with them for how long?
Well, I got involved with the Studio Theatre back in the beginning days of the Perth Theatre Project, which was in the very early 1990s, right around 1990.
Okay.
And we started working then toward establishing the small theater that we have today, and had the opportunity to acquire some property. We put up the Crystal Palace that's in the basin today for the farmers market. So it's been a force in the cultural life of Perth for a long time.
Absolutely, and I mean, talk about a force too. You guys made COVID work. You still entertained and put plays on for people during COVID and made it work.
Well, it was difficult, but
you did it.
Managed to keep the lights on.
That's right. Yes, because you still had bills to pay.
Yes.
That's right. Now the play you've got coming up now too, The Perils of Persephone. Let's talk about that. It's by Dan Needles.
Dan Needles is a Canadian playwright who lives in Grey County. He was raised in Toronto, but has, in his adulthood, taken to the farming life and worked as a newspaper editor in Shelburne, Ontario, and was a parliamentary assistant in the Ontario legislature. I'm telling you all of this because it's relevant to the plot. And he's very interested in exploring the relationship between city and country life. And so The Perils of Persephone Township, is about some of the political fallout when a small rural township is under threat from an environmental problem.
Okay.
It sounds very serious, but it's actually quite funny.
It is a comedy?
It is a comedy.
Comedy, yes, okay.
It is a comedy, and the people of Persephone Township and the particular family that the play looks at are very involved in the life of the township. They've been there for more than 100 years on a century farm, and Eldon Curry, the patriarch, is the reeve of the township. And the play is about what happens when a truck carrying hazardous waste goes off the road and into a swamp on the reeve's own land.
Okay.
And the people at Queen's Park get very excited and take over the disaster scene. So it's looking at the tensions between what the rural people want to do and what the people in Toronto want to spin for the media. So there's a real media thread in it as well. A lot of newspaper reporters, and the play set in 1989. So it's an interesting period piece because we see how those kinds of issues were dealt with in that time period, 35 years ago,
right,
and how different things are today.
Absolutely. Now, so who are some of the players in here?
Well, we have some veterans and we have a few newcomers. In this particular piece, I have 3 actors returning from the 39 Steps that we did last year. I have Christine Williams, Josh Gallant, and Lara Klimko, as well as my entire backstage production team from that show. And that was a comedy. Comedy's pretty fast-paced, and so it's great to have a team that knows how to nail that. And then our other players, Mike Arian, worked with me on Scrooge, and that was a musical, but now he's doing a comedy. And as well, we have John Kenny, who's worked backstage on some productions, and he's taking to the stage for this one. And Christine O'Malley, who is a player from some of the other local theatre groups, but who's now in Perth and has come out to join us. And I have a couple of extras in the form of Alan Humphreys, who again is another regular backstage worker, but he's performing in many roles as a reporter and a government MOE worker. And Brent McGuire I've worked with as well on Ed's Garage and Scrooge, and he typically has done musicals with me or other comedy shows, and he's out to take on a role like that that Alan is doing.
And I'm glad you mentioned the backstage people and everything like that, because people come to a play and they just see the players out front, but it takes so many people to put this together.
It does, and we really value our backstage folks. They're very highly skilled, and they run a very smooth operation. If you were to peek backstage at a production, you would see that we have my stage manager and assistant director and props people. We have a number of engineers and other professionals who know just how to make things work. And in the tech booth, my husband Jeff Mason has done lighting for years and years when we were at Perth Collegiate, so he's going to be at the lighting board, and I'm working with some of my former students too. So Cindy Dakeman was with me from grade 9 at Perth Collegiate, and now she's working with me as an assistant stage manager and sound technician.
Nice.
So it's fun.
And having the Perth Studio Theatre is what you were mentioning. You've got some new actors. It's a great opportunity for them, but it must be nice for you to see some new people come in too that want to do this.
It's a great way to meet new people. We do have people come out to volunteer, often with front of house, with backstage, with costumes. People get involved, and next thing you know, people are interested in auditioning, and it makes it interesting for the audiences to be able to see a range of different actors on stage.
Absolutely.
And interestingly, yesterday the set build happened, and 3 of the set builders are also actors in the show. So there's a real sense of community amongst the team. There's no real separation between the tech and the actors, which is a good feeling.
And I mean, you're just saying the set build too. You just came from Anne Frank,
which
too.
is a huge set.
That was a huge set too. My goodness, yeah, it was all different levels and everything like that too. So now, like the rubber hits the road, here comes your set.
Sure. And what's good is that we have so many people involved that the Anne Frank company was entirely separate from ours. We didn't have any overlap, so our group came in all refreshed and ready to go, and it takes a little. It's quick.
Yes.
It's a quick turnaround.
Oh, absolutely. Well, speaking of which, the dates, you start June 20th.
June 20th is our opening night, and that is our special deal. So tickets on Tickets Please. You can see the special deal you get for an opening night performance, and then we run for Thursday, Friday evenings, 7:30 curtain, and then Saturday and Sunday that weekend matinees, and similarly the following weekend. So we don't close until the 30th of June. So it's good for the actors. They get a good opportunity to perform all 8 times.
I'm doing the math here. 8 performances. Yes, yes. So June 20th, 21st, 27th, 28th at 7:30, and 22nd, 23rd, 29th, and 30th at 2 o'clock.
At 2 o'clock.
Okay, and tickets, you can get them at, you were saying?
Tickets Please, online, or through the Studio Theatre's own website, box office. And there are tickets available. We have an elevator. It's accessible.
Yes.
Being a comedy, it has broad appeal for an audience of all ages. It's age appropriate for anyone from 6 to 60.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, absolutely. So Perils of Persephone by Dan Needles. That's going to start on June 20th, and you can get tickets from Tickets Please online, or you can wait until get them at the door. But
you can get them at the door, or you can get them online through the Perth Studio Theatre's own website.
Excellent, excellent.
So there are lots of ways to get tickets.
Excellent, excellent. We look forward to this. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to talk about
Once again, Carolee Mason came from Perth today. Thank you very much. The director of Perils of Persephone. Looking forward to that.
Thanks so much, Kathy.